Whoa. How you doing? Happy Wednesday. Such a great opportunity to share. I was just talking to tech support because I was like, I cannot text back. I can't text out my invitation. And they said, "Oh, you can't you can't text out until you go live." And I knew it wasn't true. So then I came live and it still will not let me chat back to you, Mr. Barber, and say hi. I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you I have to I don't know, tell these people myself because I really wanted to I really wanted to invite you in to share some ideas about our holiday spending and how to stay in control. Great conversational topic, and they are so completely wrong. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to tell them right now, no, it still does not work. That's why we shouldn't spend anything on holidays because the stuff you buy, they don't even offer any tech support anymore. Can't even talk to anybody. How you doing, Jenny? You can't even get them to respond. The but we are all the way live and I can't invite you, so I need you to text and talk. I have that up so that and I will verbalize my reply since I can't talk back to you. But I appreciate you and I appreciate that you are taking the time out. I see you. Please say hello. Please text the the invitation capacity to go into the so that I can text back for those who just came in that I can't send you the link to invite you because I clicked the invite, but it will not allow me to post and text back to you like we usually do. So you just keep on moving, right? Karen, it's coming in between me and you being able to get you into the studio. It won't allow me to do it. And it was interesting because I said to myself today, I said, hey, I should actually put this in the email. And then I said, oh, no, it'll be fine. I'll just put it up when we go live. And the go live, the chatting back to you is not allowing me to do that. And then Kevin just asked me, are you seeing an error message or can you describe what's happening? You know, and I cannot chat, Kevin. And that's it. But fundamentally, I'm not going to be really hard on Restream. They're good. They're good. I am JB Bryan of JB Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm, the home of Afro economics, and it's all about money. It's all about money. I don't I don't know, and I'm gonna try not to because Kevin keeps like popping up. The tech support keeps popping up in the middle of my face. Like all you can do, Kevin, is just make it work. I don't know if you can see me talking, but just make it work. And I'll know when it works because I've been using y'all for years. So this I'm not able to chat back to you, but we're going to keep on going flowing and I will respond to your questions verbally. I can't type it back. And the look, he's like he's dumbfounded that I could tell that he could hear me going live. So I wanted to talk about today a survey that came out about US consumers, and US consumers should expect higher prices this year. Isn't that something? That's why I wanted to call this holiday spending what's in your wallet. Well, according to the survey that they are saying, and it was done by Deloitte, a financial company, found that um, you should expect higher prices this year than last year, and that 57% of those who responded said they expect the economy to weaken in the year ahead. Not something. They're probably, if you surveying them and they work for the government, they might say that because they're just irritated that they just can't go to work. They want to go to work and make their money. And they got to get that together. It's almost starting to irritate me. Like the first couple of days, it was like, okay, this is cool. But then we have to think about, we pay these people to get along, you know? So we need them to make a resolution on this. Yes, indeed. So I think that Kevin keeps asking me to share more information on the fact that I cannot chat back to you. Isn't that something? He says, I understand, but chat back. So what he's doing is trying to exhaust me. Like you feel when you go holiday shopping and you actually think that you want to park close to the front door. I really can't remember. And y'all tell me if you all, that's probably him calling, right? Wouldn't that be something? If if you have actually gone into the mall or shopping center and shopped within the last 2 years for holiday gifts, y'all, bro, like really have Miss King, Jenny, respond. Do you actually go out and shop and go to the stores? I took the over on, remember, I took the over on this shutdown. I took the over. You got to tell me what you mean by that. The indeed. Hopefully, I don't know. You're probably essential person now, Mr. Barber. So you're probably still working. I bet that's what you're gonna say. You are still working because you're essential. You're essential to me. You're essential to the government. You're essential to the world. And I know they have you still working. But they have to get it together, get us back in there. All this stuff kind of going on. And then you have the research coming out about holiday spending. It's kind of hard for them to probably get into that type of mood. The Miss Davis says she tries not to go shopping. I try not to give gifts if I can help it. Oh, you knew that it was going to last longer than a week. I was like definitely overly optimistic. I was definitely wrong. Where you are essential personnel, you seriously are. And the Miss King says she mostly shops online, but she likes walking through the mall still. No, and the see if I put that, and it doesn't put it on the side either, so that we can type. And if I take it off, it's like, do we do this? Nope. Look. I was just seeing if there was like something I could possibly do. Nope. And it says so. Miss Vicky. Vicky D said hello. Look, Mr. Yarbrough is with me. I don't know if it's 15 because my child is just getting into her 20s. But I was never really good at that. I was never really good at that. It's like really humbling when you start just realizing stuff about yourself. And I know my daughter told me one time, she was like, Mom, I would like my things wrapped, and put it in gift wrap and all this stuff. Like, yeah, well, you got to get to Kwanzaa because you got to get past all that spending to get to Kwanzaa. So if your loved ones expect you to give for Christmas, you got to get to Christmas first before you can get to Kwanzaa. Mr. Yarbrough said he likes to focus on Kwanzaa principles. I know that's right. Me too. And the and the whole but the holiday spending, I think, loses itself because you have to really know what is the purpose for this. Why are we doing this? What is it all for? Like, it just buying this stuff. Like, I enjoy constantly giving. I'm going to give. Like, see how some people will say, I'm not going to do this now, especially someone might have a need right now. And they'll be like, well, I'm not going to do that for them because I know Christmas is coming in. I'm not going to, get them their hair comb they need. Or I'm not going to, get them, whatever they need so they're going to, and they're going to just delay and put it off when literally if you help the person now, that will help them have a better holiday. If you look at it from a perspective of helping. But I think the materialistic approach to the holidays is not about helping. It's more about people that already have everything they need doing exchanging to each other. I remember saying that to my siblings because they would like to exchange names and everything. And um not anymore. They don't include me in any of that the anymore. And I had to like adjust to that there are that as you grow up, things change and you might get left out of a lot of the stuff that when you were younger you were included in. But both of my parents passed away, and my siblings said, "We don't have to deal with her no more. We don't have to hear her talk about we should be trying to do something different." Like, but I truly believe that it's like why people that already have everything are just sitting there exchanging things to each other when there's actually people that we could help. But who am I? How do I have the right? All I need to do is focus on what my holiday. And so that was a gift to me that they did leave me out because a lot of times we want to be included in stuff that's just not necessarily best for you. Hope everything's well for you as well for you, Miss Fulcher. Thank you. All is well over here. Amen. Now all is well with my family. Blessed. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. And if we could just focus on just giving thanks, I think it would reduce a lot of the economic pressure. Because according to the survey, it says that people are more negative now than they have been since the sentiment has been tracked of the consumer confidence, holiday spending sentiment. It just says that Deloitte found the most negative outlook since the consulting firm began tracking sentiment in 1997. Consumer sentiment is negative. US consumers plan to spend 10% less than this holiday season, as they seek out deals and anticipate higher prices. So they're searching for value. And it says that this pullback is sharper among members of Gen Z, who said they plan to spend 34% less than a year ago in this holiday season. What is Gen Z anyway? I think that's like people in their 20s. Got a name for everything. So Gen Z is smart. Basically, that's a good thing. Gen Z has decided that they're going to spend less this holiday because they're not quite sure about the economic outlook of the future. Why would anybody buy something that they cannot afford if they're not quite sure that they're going to have a job in 90 days, in 30 days? There are people coming out of college right now with no job in sight, with their degree and no job in sight. So we have to be focusing on things like that actually. This would be a good time for parents to to think about what type of skills do I need to help, or am I going to need to pay their bills for a couple of months to protect their credit and not focus on things they don't really need, another game, another phone when the phone they have is working, another, headset when they already have a headset that works. So it's like this is time to be smart like Gen Zs, according to this survey, and spend less in anticipation that you may need to protect yourself. Like, how many times have I said you need to have an emergency fund of at least 3 months of your bills available for you in an emergency fund? Say it all the time, correct? All the time. But what? There are people who are seriously afraid that if they don't get back to work after a week or two, that they don't know how they're going to make it. Hello, Mr. Williams. Indeed. How they are totally afraid of how what's going to come next because they don't have the emergency fund. I hear it said over and over and over that the average American doesn't have at least $1,000 to get access to. So then that's, I guess, how they came up with that pandemic money of the $1,000. You know that was, okay. Well, if they don't have it, but like, really, can most Americans pay all their bills with $1,000? So you're saying, Mr. Graves, that's people aged 20 to 35 or Gen Zs? Yes. So with this consumer survey saying that they expect the economy to weaken, then what do we need to do as we approach the holiday season? What do we need to, look at differently or find peace with? No, or how can you save money with it so that you don't end up like me getting left out? Look, but some, but God just opens it up with others. Whatever you lose, by developing a closer relationship with God, just know that God will fill it up. We're never alone. He's always loving on us. Even, during the holiday season, they say that a lot of people get sad because they feel alone or they miss their loved ones or things like that. And I think that what really can make us happy is to just move away from the materialism and use it as an opportunity to get closer to God's will for your life. It's Miss Fulcher said, good thing, because most people give every week or every month. It's more important, exactly, than buying gifts at the end of the year when you're already helping all the time. When you're already helping. I remember it's like it can become very stressful because you're thinking of things outside of your responsibilities. And quite often, people accumulate so much credit card debt during the holiday season that they don't even pay it off by by the next year when it's time for the holidays again. And that's so sad. We have to figure out a way to avoid accumulating debt, and why you would feel that it's okay to accumulate debt for holiday spending when you might need that credit card for an emergency. But if you fill it up with buying gifts for other people, then you're not going to be able to have it for your emergency account. Like, you have a credit card that's 3 months or 6 months, like Miss Davis said, she wants 6 months of emergency fund. You have you have that. And, we have to remember, I'm not talking about your retirement account. The emergency fund is just separate liquid access money. No, I have met people who actually use their retirement account like an emergency fund. Take it out. They're paying taxes, and they promise they're going to get it back to themselves, and then they don't. Taking loans on their retirement account at work. That's not what we really want. What we want to have is the emergency fund where you're actually putting money away for emergencies, and in hopes of not having credit card. And that's also under the assumption that you have no credit card debt. Because if a person is sitting there with an emergency fund and then they have a credit card balance with 25,000 at 18% interest, that's not the best strategy. We need to talk. We need to talk. You feel good because you have this over here, but you're actually going backwards because your savings, your emergency is not earning anywhere near the interest that credit card is charging you. I have an emergency to come up 2 years ago, and I had an emergency fund and I was able to take care of it. Thank you. Thank God. It's such a blessing, Jenny. It's so good. Yes, that's the point. It could be anything. Somebody dies, you got to get an airplane ticket, need new tires. That the credit card balances come from not having the emergency fund. If we think about it fundamentally, credit cards are used to buy things that we cannot actually afford at that time. They're filling the gap. They're filling the gap. So for the holidays, some tips. Y'all gonna be all excited because I can't send you the link to get you into the studio. um, that I'm not gonna keep you long. I should just stall, just stall, just sing or something, just to keep you here with me longer. So, but look, create a budget. If there's people you have to buy for, as long as my parents were alive, especially my mama, she had to have a gift. You better spend some money on it too. And then make sure that you plan for that. Okay, I'm gonna get this for mama, this for daddy, this for my kids, this for your grandkids. See, when you start having grandkids and grandkids have grandkids, woo, that gets deep. Track your spending. Try to think about what you did last year. How much did you spend? If by us thinking about it now, maybe you can get some stuff and get it on sale now. For ungrateful people. Isn't that true? As Vulture said, it's so true. People probably bought some stuff and the person ain't even talking to you this year. They oh yes, expecting a better gift than what you bought. Oh yes, you can tell that look. They're looking at you funny. You ain't give me nothing. You just all you got. And my thing is once people start having children, I feel like you can skip them. You can just get for their children. You don't have to get for them. You grown now. You had kids. So we're gonna focus on these kids. But you can lose friends that way because you're being practical. It's amazing. It's just amazing how irritating having good sense can be to people with no sense. But you got to pay your bills. You have to pay your bills. Do you know that research shows that if you take the steps to change the people you're around, your entire life will change. I mean, it is so true that broke people have broke friends, and they're all broke together. You want to change, you first want to make sure, because see, there's broken, and there's broke, right? There's broke minded. There's people who don't have any money, but they work hard, they have great work ethic. I love those type of people. Love that type of people. I would love a person with no money who works hard, great work ethic, determined, very positive, forward moving, great relationship with God. I would rather be around that person than a thief that has lots of money and got it by stepping on someone else. And they're honest. Like Mr. Williams. See, that's a good person. Says, hey, exhausted. The emergency was huge. Took all of it. Gotta love people like that. They're being honest. So they know what they gotta do. That's accountability. That's doing the right thing. It's not gonna go around try to get credit cards so he can fake like he got something he ain't got. No. I want my emergency fund built back up. Can't do it. Because y'all know if something go wrong for me again, they not. The ones you're going to give those gifts to cannot afford to fill that gap for you. So you have to. The biggest thing that we can do for our children is to commit to not being a burden to them. How do you do that? Get debt free. Get rid of the debt. Don't do those consumer debts. Don't sit in that house buying all those type of things. Your children got to help you out. Don't. Before you do the what do they call that, where they reverse mortgage, before you do anything like that, talk to your children about it. Reverse mortgages a lot of times do not work. Most of the time they do not work for us. You're hurting yourself. There's another way. I remember one time a lady came to see me, and I gave her options. She was sitting, brought in the reverse mortgage information and everything, and I let her do that before she signed up. I should have. I learned from that though. Sign up for membership, then I'm gonna help you with this. Me, like a nice person, signed her. Look, gave her all the stuff, reviewed all that, assuming that she's going to appreciate it. She took that knowledge and said, "Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, you've helped me so much." Never got into membership. Never did. But that's something that she has to deal with, because she'll need me before I'll need her. That's the sad part. She just cut off a resource, cut off a priceless resource, literally for $30. Oh my goodness. So it's like, you have to realize you want to be around people who appreciate knowledge, who appreciate the dollar, who appreciate how expensive that is, and want to avoid it just as much as you, so that they would never be the type to pressure you on things. I remember I had a client and his wife was pressuring him on getting a new house and fussing him out in front of me, fussing him square out in the office. I started crying. And he was like, "Oh, no, 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 she's just going through the change or whatever." I'm thinking, gone through whatever they call it. I grew up and I ain't never fussed nobody out like that. Goodness gracious. You're eating the wrong food, but I didn't say that. She might have smacked me. What you eating? Processed food or something? You are losing your mind fussing at this man like that. All over, she wanted to go into debt, and he did not want to go into debt. And of course, you know whose side I was on. Plus, he was my client. And then she ended up dying within weeks and wasn't even sick. Wasn't even sickly. Like, I mean, literally. Walk in, like everything fine. And just died from all that negativity, all that toxic mindset, all that worry over stuff that she's not even here to look at. I bet on her dying day, she probably was like, Lord, this house is fine. I'm good. Oh my goodness. And he's still there. He's still enjoying that same original home. He's still debt free and he's still fine. But what if he had done that and was dependent on her to help him pay for this new debt? It would have set him back for the rest of his life. They were already grown. Yeah, as Miss Fulcher said, if I lose someone because I don't buy them a gift, then they are never my friend. I know that's true, right? It would never, never. You would lose a lot of people when you stop being stupid. I really feel in many ways in this world, people who have less intelligence and rational, good, disciplined set. I'm going to say it like this. People who are very disciplined have less friends than people who lack discipline. People who lack discipline and just spend money that they don't really have, flash the credit card, buying everybody drinks, doing, eating and doing, drinking and everything. They always have a lot of friends. Those of us who have to be disciplined, the look, I mean, the when they look at you, this is literally is my goal in life. When people look at me, they see discipline. They see what I don't do way before they see what I do. They say, yes, leave her the hell alone because this woman is determined to do right. That's what I want. You ever look and you go, why in the world? You know you're doing something wrong because you should be attracting exactly what you are. You should be attracting discipline-minded people. One day I heard my daughter talking about like, I'm not really into material things. Materialistic things don't, it doesn't move me like that. This and this and that. I was so blessed just to hear the conversation, just to hear her saying, you know what I mean? Basically, what she's saying was, I wasn't brought up like that. You might look at me, see, you might think have a lot, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't brought up there. We don't worship that. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I don't think about it. I don't sit there and think about what this is worth, what that's worth, what that, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. No, people might be doing that to you, but you don't have to do that to yourself. We value everything we have, everything you have, everything, everything. I thank God for everything. I thank God for the ability to not go out and eat. I thank God for the wisdom to know that cooking at home is a blessing, to be able to cook good organic stuff for myself and save money doing it. That's what you want. That's what you want. And people that understand that versus, oh, you ain't going there. Money. That's just money, just throwing it away. So make a gift list if you have one. Make a list. Justify the list. See the money that's associated with that list. Talk to God about it. Don't go in the store and get emotional. I love to use online purchasing because then I don't go in the store and get emotional. Like the other day, I don't know the last time I told the lady in the store. I said, I don't know the last time I went in Walmart. I wanted to go in the drugstore, but it wasn't open yet. As y'all know, I get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. But I needed this notebook because in this notebook right now, everything, everything. I wanted the notebook because I didn't want to use my phone anymore. Because kind of in the phone, it just kind of, you put something in there, you put your little notes in there, then it goes away. I want this notebook in my face. And a lot of this notebook is about health. What I put? This book represents my commitment to my health. And then I went back and put great. This book represents my commitment to my great health. So when I went in there, there was a lady that I recognized, and I don't think she really wanted to talk to me. But I recognized her, so I said, "Hey, so and so," like, what I'm saying. You know how you think somebody saw you, but they didn't really want to talk to you. But I don't know. I wanted to say hi, so I said hi, and then she felt like she should talk. She should stop, so she stopped, and she said, "I came in here for one item," and she had like 20 things. 20 things. We talked for a while, gave her some advice on some things for business that she's trying to do. And then, I don't know why, because as you said about gifts that you give, and people really don't appreciate it. Every time I give her advice, she just doesn't appreciate it. She always gives me pushback. I got to get better with that. Stop forcing my gifts on people. So, when she was like, "Okay, well, I gotta go, lady." JD, always trying to help somebody. I gotta go. And then so she went, mind you, she said she came in there for one item. She had like 20 different things in her hand. I went in there for this one item. Y'all know how many things I walked out with, right? The one item. But I did get ink pens. But I came in there to get two. The ink pens, and it came in three in this box and this notebook. You got to be like that about when you get your holiday shopping in. You go in and you get what you put on that list. Not, "Oh, I need this candle. Oh, I'm a so and so. Da 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 da." Then you end up going from 1 to 20, like that lady did. I'm always, no matter what. Y'all might think I'm just like, "Oh, I'm just doing it. I'm just listening to you, this and that." I am always doing research on you. If I'm on your team, I'm researching you. And I had a meeting Monday night. I didn't have an answer to the client till Tuesday morning when I woke up. And then I text her. I know she was thinking, "What in the world? This is 4 o'clock in the morning. JB is texting me." She was telling me, she was just telling me something. And I had to absorb it. I had to absorb it. It was something she's going through and professionally. And then as over the night, God gave me the gift to give back to her. And she received it. And she said, "Thank you. I'll do that." Mm, yeah, they'll call you cheap. Miss Fulcher said, "When you discipline, exactly, and not spending money and want to invest in your future, people call you cheap and tight, with your money." It's crazy. It's crazy. That's really sad. I used to see, like I have an aunt and she's still living. And my mother always saw her like that. It wasn't my mom, it was my dad's sister. And my mother always saw her like, as she should spend more money. She should spend more money. She should spend more money. Like, we don't know. I know my aunt never saw it. I don't know though, because my mom was very verbal. So she would tell her, "Get you another car. You should get you another car." But she was widowed, young. My mother didn't live that many years after my father passed. So she always had, someone with her from when she was 19, when they met, like through her whole life. They were together 58 years. So and then when my dad passed, my mother was hooked up. My dad, took care of things. She never had to worry about money. And it was very hard for me to communicate that to my mother, that my life experience is not like yours. My life experience is more like my dad's. I've always been the responsible one. Even when I was married, I always was the breadwinner. And so I don't, and I don't say the breadwinner, because everybody makes some money, but I made the most money. And so I always felt like I had to be the responsible one. I always had to, be like thinking about the future, thinking about what's best for us. And, and I know in my last relationship, like his final conversation with me, because I remember looking at him and I said, all I want is just for you and Z to be okay. I just want you to, it's like, and I don't know, I was just really obsessed that if I die, I got to make sure that they're okay. That should have been a sign right there. Though. All I was thinking about was death, that, you're not in the right place. You're not, this is not a good relationship for you. But it was, all we know is discipline. And he looked at me and said, I don't care at all. I don't want nothing from you. I don't want nothing. But you know what I mean? I don't know the exact words, but it was like a stab, like, oh boy, those words got me so hurt because I was always feeling like I'm the one that's got to look out. I'm the one that's got to make sure everything is all right. And I never thought that was not appreciated, because that's what my dad always did. So it's like, so I felt like if I do this, then I'm helping make his life better, because I'm helping, like I'm helping more. Maybe because, I was such a daddy's girl and I always wanted my father's life to be easier. And he told me one time, he was like, you're just too much like me. You're just too much like me, and I don't know what he meant, like that, but he was just like, just take care of yourself. You're just so much like me, that it hurt him that I was so much like him. But I liked him. And I have no problem being responsible. And I have no problem being disciplined. Like we can, like some people could have taken that and said, well, you know what? That's what's wrong with me. I'm just so responsible and I'm so disciplined and I'm always trying to do the right thing. And they'll take it and allow the devil to take over their life. Thank God. All it did was bring me closer to God. All it did was bring me closer to God. Like, so if we give things and we give it and we give it and give it, they don't appreciate it, heal. Like, allow it to heal you, but allow it to make you stronger and allow you to not do that again. Not do that again. Like, just know and trust people that when they tell you what their priorities are, trust them and believe them. Because of course he changed his mind months later, but God said, no, keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. So when you're gifting and you're this and that, and that they're not appreciating, and they're you giving them something, and they sitting in the back of the closet down, this and that, like, don't, what the word say? Don't throw your pearls among swine. The pig in the mud has no idea that it's a diamond bracelet, a diamond necklace. A pig in the mud has no idea the value of your discipline and your commitment and your loyalty and your, just your pure presence of wanting to be with them on the holiday. They don't know that because they're pig in the mud. We're going broke trying to appease pigs in the mud. Make a commitment to using cash. That really helps. Or using the debit card. That's all I carry around, debit cards. Debit, debit, debit. Don't even use the credit cards. Use them as your emergency. That's it, emergency. And then somebody's going to, but Christmas is not an emergency. Kwanzaa is not an emergency. Shoot, Christmas is one day, Kwanzaa is 7 days. Some people probably overspend on Kwanzaa. And that's not the point of it. No. Christmas is about our relationship with God. That's it. That's it. Some people honor it. I'm a Christian. I honor it. Some people don't. I recognize Kwanzaa, but I don't spend money on Kwanzaa other than, buying the candles and things. Focus more on giving experiences. Maybe that will help you save money, but some experiences can be really expensive. Like, but a great experience that I used to enjoy doing with my daughter was like going and feeding people on Christmas Day. That was one of our best Christmas days. You know, when your family is small, sharing it with others can be nice. I feel so much better this holiday. I pray that it continues, that I continue to feel this way. But sometimes, I remember the last one last year, my first holiday without having a mom and a dad here. Like, it was different. And only looking back do I realize that I was sad. I was kind of like, let this day and this get over. Can we get through this, please? And that's sad. And I want to do better this year. I just want, and I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything, but I just want peace. I just want to be happy in my heart, like I feel, you know, that we are, everything is, nothing is by accident. Nothing is by accident. And may God's will be done. So make sure you go back over after this discussion, listening to this, revisit your gift list. See if you really need to be spending that much. What is your outlook about the future? If you feel uncomfortable, like literally, I mean this, seriously consider joining Afro Economics as a real member. There's no excuse, member is absolutely free. But if you want to start talking one on one about your health, your wealth, I have a health and wealth membership. I feel that that is a gift that God has given me on addressing health and wealth issues together because they are so connected. And then there's the individual membership as well, and then the entrepreneur membership. I created the entrepreneur membership because over 30 years ago, when I started my firm, I had no one to talk to. So I have read several times that you should solve problems with your business. The problem still exists. And the wealth gap exists in this world because we don't own enough businesses. People that are worried about the economy or people that don't have control over their futures. Once you know how much God loves you and you have your own business, you get excited about the ability to do these things yourself, that your future is not in someone else's hands. I started my business in my 20s. I just want people to know that it's possible. There was no investor. My business is 100% Black owned. There is no loan. There's no, the silent partner. There's no surprise. That I want us to know that this can be done. I started my business with a customer and a dream. That's it. And then brought my customers from that firm I was working at. And they wrote me a letter and they said, we just want you to know that we're not going to sue you for taking your customers. And I was thinking to myself, I wasn't even caring because I'm taking them regardless. But when I did that, it was rare for people to be independent. No, I had no idea that I was one of the first ever registered investment advisory firm, not Black, first ever registered investment advisory firms on this planet, in the United States of America, anywhere. And now there's thousands. It's amazing. No, I had no idea. I just really just did not know. I was just doing what God was telling me to do. So, like, I just challenge you that you join Afroeconomics. Is there something that you're trying to take to the next level? Allow me to help you. Allow me to help you for however long God gives me. Let's do this together. And then there's clients, if you already have over 100,000 in assets and I begin to manage your assets, then your membership is complimentary. But the membership is just designed to allow people, small investors or people with a vision, to be able to talk to me. But most of my time is spent with clients that have assets under management, and that you're just getting a taste of what I do for them to get you there. And I'm gonna tell you, I've gotten people from zero to the 100,000 to their membership being turned off, the membership fee being turned off, and we go over to asset fee base. So it can be done. I've taken clients from from the beginning of their career to into the millions. And I'm looking you straight in the eye. It is so possible. It is so possible. But it's all about getting your money to work as hard as you do. And it's all about getting yourself into a situation where you're around disciplined people. It is my discipline and consistency that has kept me here. My discipline and consistency, not motivation, no rich father, no man backing me, nothing like that. Discipline, consistency, and the grace of God. And it can be done. And y'all can do way better than me because you got me helping you. I want you past me. I want you past me. I focus on making people way richer than me. That's what I want. Then I'm happy. I want to be surrounded by people way more successful than me. Then you've lived a life. Then you've lived a life. Please take a moment to click like on the click like. I don't ever ask, and I will never ask for a Cash App or anything like that. So please just click like to make my day as my holiday gift each week on Wednesdays. Please click like. So many views and I don't get the likes. Even if you don't like it, click like. Whenever I watch somebody's podcast, I click like. To me, it's the least that we can do. It's the least that we can do. And I really thank God for those of you who do click like. I'm sorry that my chat wasn't working up there today. I don't know what that was about so that I could chat back. But you got me. You got me 100% today, Miss Wilkerson. You got me. Y'all watch your money, watch your wallet, or watch your holiday spending. You want to talk about it together, email me, jb@jbbryan.com. There's no T on my name. jb@jbbryan.com, or call me at 1-844-522-7926. That's 1-844-JB Bryan. Love y'all. Bye-bye.